Again, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to ABC Amber TV live from the great state of Texas, Houston, precisely. I am Chris, I know, your communications secretary. Thank you for joining in. We got so much to talk about today, about the state of our revolutions. I am talking about the elections that are planned for our territory by La République du Cameroon to once more taste our resolve to fight for until we take back our country from their grip. We're going to be talking about that. We'll be talking about the killings over a few days yesterday in Batibo, orchestrated by the ADF. I'm going to be bringing you some details that you may not have heard concerning those massacres in Guzang precisely yesterday. Also, I have a message for PWD Bamenda. Ladies and gentlemen, if you live out there in Bamenda, listen to me carefully today. Pass the message to the owners and to the players of PWD Bamenda. It is very, very critical they get this message, because this struggle is not a joke anymore. If it was a joke, it is no longer a joke. So please, I got a message out there for PWD Bamenda. I'm going to be talking about other things too. I have a few guests here from Mogamo local government area joining me on the set to talk about what took place in Batibo, Guzang precisely yesterday, again orchestrated by Cho Ayaba's ADF. We will get to that. But before I get there, please, I want you to hit your share button. I want to see these numbers rising by the minute. In the next 5 minutes, please, let us get this to 700. In the next 5 minutes, let us get this to 700. All right. But before I take you into the broadcast proper, ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you that if you drafted for your county and for your local government and you have not yet redeemed your draft, the moment has come, the time has come for you to think about redeeming those pledges. We no longer have time, ladies and gentlemen. We no longer have time. We were giving up to December for everyone to redeem his or her pledges. And December is just a few days from here. December is only a few days from here. And I hear lots and lots of you out there keep on shouting firepower, firepower, firepower on ground zero. I hear some people talking about the need for RPGs on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, those things are not picked from the ground. They don't fall from space. We buy them with money. We buy them with money. If you put the money in the hands of your county leaders, I can assure you they will go for the best. They will go for what is more effective. They will get what the boys on the ground need. So please, I am really pleading. We will not win this war by mere talking. We will not win this war through social media propaganda. We will not win this war by criticizing. We will not win this war by pleading to the boys to do more and more and more on the ground. We will win this war only with money. Only with money. And of course, you know, there is no amount of money that we can raise that can match what La République du Cameroon has in their bank. But the little we give can go a long way to frustrate, ladies and gentlemen, frustrate every effort that La République du Cameroon is putting out there, trying to get our people to get into fatigue so they can declare victory. No, we must not allow La République du Cameroon to declare victory. We must fund the restoration fighters and Bazonia restoration fighters until they get the right equipment into their hands. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the only way. That is the only way. We are going to frustrate every effort by La République du Cameroon. I am learning that La République du Cameroon is setting up camps and spies everywhere between Meme and Fako, because they are preparing for some so-called Cup of Nations in January in Victoria. And they are also preparing for these elections. Ladies and gentlemen, we do not need to confront La République du Cameroon forces. I have said this again and again. If we kill 20 of their soldiers, they will easily replace them. What we need is a kind of covert equipment that you can stand 15 kilometers, 20 kilometers, 10 kilometers away and get their target. That is what our money wants to go for, ladies and gentlemen. So please, again, I appeal to you, redeem your draft. We have only until next month to finish those drafts. So please, again, hear my voice. Redeem your pledge. And remember, your draft, and remember, those drafts are going to your county and to your local government. They are not coming to the interim government. Of course, the local governments and the counties are part of the interim government. When I say the interim government in this context, I am referring to the center government, the cabinet and the presidency, or the Restoration Council. So please, let us fund the boys on the ground. I continue to read reports on a daily basis, how La République du Cameroon is running out of funds. There is no other way we continue to deplete their resources other than continue to resist what they are trying to do out there. We must resist them until we frustrate them and they surrender. That is the way to go. We don't hope to defeat them. We will only count defeat when they pack out of our territory. That is all that it is. That is what victory is about. When we declare Boya and move to Boya, that is victory. We want them on the negotiation table. That is victory, ladies and gentlemen. So, but the only way to get here is to fund the fighters on ground zero. And if you are on ground zero, you want to fund the fighters, please look for your county. Look for your county and support, donate, draft for your county or for your local government. You know what, make your county or make your local government make it take last for this defense issue. You know what, make your local government or county may be the last one for being captured by the restoration forces. So please, I am appealing to you. We need money. We need money to do everything to carry out these projects on the ground. The Ambazonia restoration forces depend, ladies and gentlemen, they depend on your draft money, redemption, to carry out these plans on the ground. We must continue to frustrate La République du Cameroon. Again, they have put up camps everywhere now, in Fako and in part of Meme, because of so-called Cup of Nations. They plan to host in Victoria in January. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, that thing will be a defeat. Listen to me, it will be a defeat on our part if after all of this they can succeed to host that nonsense in Ambazonia. And you know what they are trying to do by hosting that thing in Victoria? They want the world to know there is no war. They want the world to know there is no insecurity in Ambazonia. They want the world to know they still have control. They want the world to know that they are putting things together. We must deny them this message that they want to send to the international community. We must deny them this message. That so-called cup in Victoria must not take place. If you take crumbling that stadium, let it be crumbled. If we did it for Sonora, we can do it for that stadium in Victoria. We can crumble it. We can target those, they are just dropping the players in Boya or Victoria. We can target those buses, bringing those players into Victoria. And I want to warn every African country sending their players into Ambazonia. They die, you blame yourself. your players die in Ambazonia, you blame yourself. You know Ambazonia is a war zone and no football takes place in a war zone. We are warning you, keep your players out of Ambazonia in January. We will not. Between Chico, Douala, we will get them. And we will get them in Victoria. We will get them in Mutangani. We will get them in Moliwe. We will get them in Maifor. We will get them. So keep, if you have wisdom. I'm speaking now to every African nation out there sending their players to Ambazonia. You have wisdom, please keep your players, keep your children away from the war zone. From the war zone. That the Republic of Cameroon can set up a dozen camps in Victoria, in Fako as a whole, and Meme to prepare for this. I bet you we will dribble them and get to stopping that so-called competition. So please, it takes our drives for this to be accomplished. Let me say something here, ladies and gentlemen. There are many dynamics here at the interim government that you do not know. There are national events like this so-called Cup of Nations and their elections on 20th May, 11th February, and so on and so forth, that they plan. La République du Cameroon plans in our territory. They hope that we will sleep, we will slumber, and they will just carry it on as usual. No, the interim government, I mean the interim government, the central government, the executive particularly, make sure that these events are destabilized and cancelled, banned effectively. But for the struggle, the general struggle, the struggle as a whole, every county and every local government takes care of their communities. So please, ladies and gentlemen, please hit your share button. I got a message, a very, very special message that I bring to you today. For those of you on the social media, please, I don't like the way the numbers are rising. They are slow. I need at least 700 people before I come to you with this very, very special presentation. I see we're just almost about 600 now. Please, about 100 more to go. So hit your share button. Again, we're going to be talking more about Batibo, what happened there by Cho Ayaba and his ADF, and the person behind these killings in Guzang, in Batibo. So I'm going to be coming to that. But again, before I get that, I am emphasizing about these drafts. Please, we have only December left to redeem our drafts. Please do so. Do so for your local government. Do so for your county. And I also want to remind those who drafted for ABC, many of you have still not redeemed your draft. We've got so many plans here at ABC, ladies and gentlemen. But without money, again, without money, there is nothing we can do. Nothing we can do. I promise you the news. The news has not come to you because of money. I got to be frank here. So please, I'm pleading with you, redeem your ABC draft. And if you are out there and you can, as an individual, put down a good chunk of money just for the news here at ABC, please send me a message or give me a call and say, Secretary Chris, I just want to sponsor the news division of ABC. If I can have 100 people, 100 Ambazonians who can just say, Secretary Chris, I just want to fund only the news unit, the news division of ABC with $100 a month, $100 a month, or $50 a month. Please give me a call, please, or send me a text. Let us create a little forum just for you who want to say you want to support the news unit, the news division here at ABC. It is very, very important that when things are taking place on the ground, in the diaspora, on a daily basis, ABC, your own television, is able to bring you those developments also on a daily basis. That is what our news division will be all about. Again, if you are out there and you feel led to say you want to support ABC, $50 or $100 a month just to support only for the news division, the news unit, please send me a message, send me or give me a call, and let us put together a little forum just for ABC News sponsors. Thank you so very much, and I do appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have about 40 people to go to 700. Hit your share button. If you are watching by way of Facebook, send it to your groups, send it to your WhatsApp, send it to Instagram, Twitter, anywhere you know there are people of interest. Let them join. There is something very, an eye-opener. That is why I title it Ambazonia, Shine Your Eyes. This is very special, ladies and gentlemen. So please, the moment we hit that 700, I will start bringing to you this very special presentation. But then, let me remind you that ABC has also developed an app, ABC Android mobile app. That means anywhere you are with data in your phone, you can watch ABC anywhere, 24/7, anytime, 24/7. So please, all you need to do is go to Play Store, Google Play Store, download the app. And one good thing about this app also is that if you are in Europe or anywhere and you will have a smart TV, a smart TV is one of those TV that has Roku, has Apple TV, and so on and so forth. That is a smart TV. I guess every TV that takes Wi-Fi or internet, that is a smart TV. The good thing with ABC app is that with the ABC app, if you are watching from your home where you don't have satellite, all you need to do is hit a button on the screen of that app. There is a little box top right of that app. Once you open it, there is a little box top right of the app. You hit on that little box, pointing it to your television. It sends the broadcast straight to your television, and you can watch it just like the people watching on satellite on your television. Ladies and gentlemen, that is one thing very interesting with the app. So whether at home or on the road, with the app, ABC app, you can watch ABC anytime, 24/7. Anytime, 24/7. Less than 17 people to go. Hit your share button, ladies and gentlemen. I must get 700 to start this very critical presentation. Hit your share button. Hit your share button. Again, I will take a short break out, a very short break out, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I see some people asking the question, do you advertise? Absolutely, ABC is advertising. You got a business out there that you want ABC to run. Please send us a message or send me a message, and we will get to talk to you about it. Of course, you've seen us running advertisement here on ABC. And then somebody also wrote that, oh, too much asking for money. Too much asking for money. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a war of independence. It is not cheap. If people are paying with their lives and over 13,000 have already paid with their lives. What is money? What amount of money would qualify for those who have been killed out there? For those who are living in refugee camps and those living in the bushes? Somebody asking that question should be ashamed of himself. Asking too much money. You think we are running television here by free? Absolutely not. All right, so please, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I will now come to you with this special presentation, and I would like you to keep on hitting your share button. Keep on hitting your share button. Keep on hitting your share button. As I bring you this special, very, very special presentation. So please go ahead, keep on hitting your share button. Keep on hitting your share button. Something is happening here. I don't know what is going on here. Something is not right here. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, keep on hitting your share button. Keep on hitting your share button. Keep on hitting your share button. Something is not looking right here. Something is not looking right here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will take a brief break out, very, very brief break out to get this right. So please go ahead. All right, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that technical glitch there. I will now bring to you this very, very special presentation that I titled for Ambazonians to shine their eyes. Again, this is a very, very critical message that I bring to you out there. Every Ambazonian, especially those of you on ground zero, but of course, you in the diaspora too, fellow Ambazonians. I need your ears in abundance today. The Republic of Cameroon has once more set the stage to test our defiance of your political authority over us. They have set the stage to test our commitment and our unbending fortitude and determination towards actualizing self-rule for our country, the Southern Cameroons and Bazonia. La République du Cameroon is scheming to carry out a number of fraudulent political events in our territory this December and January, with the aim of passing the message that they are still in control of the Southern Cameroons from the Mongol to Inkambe. And as usual, they are engaging the largesse of their brain-damaged robotic sycophants, the so-called elite, to accomplish the schemes. French Cameroon plans two significant events, the so-called regional elections this December, that is, in less than 2 weeks, and a football jamboree, the African Cup, in January, precisely in the city of Victoria. All of Fako and parts of Meme are being militarized right now, to make sure the football carnival holds hitch-free. But let's talk about the elections first. As we forget, the so-called regional elections are being organized as a fallout from their so-called Grand National Dialogue, in which, in their own mercies, they coin out the phrase special status for Anglophones, as they like to call us. After it would have been all said and done, ladies and gentlemen, the elections will produce 3 meaningless political institutions for Anglophones, again in their own words. The elections are intended to produce 1, 2 houses of regional representatives, one in Bamenda and the other in Boya. Number 2, the elections are intended to produce 2 houses of chiefs, one in Boya and the other in Bamenda. This is what we have gathered. The elections will produce altogether about 1,300 constituent representatives, 700 in Bamenda and 600 in Boya. Again, the 2 regional houses of assembly, so-called, as the one it to be called, shall be in Bamenda and Boya. This arrangement, in the ears of anyone who is not familiar with our history and the history of window dressing, which since became an integral part of the devious politics of La République du Cameroon, leaders, may sound like a good arrangement that should finally give power to the Anglophones, as they call us. An arrangement that finally devolves power and decision-making to the counties, they want you to believe. You are very wrong. No, it doesn't. Don't forget that in the mindset of Cameroon, the Cameroon ruling class, anything that devolves power to the counties or to the people is equated to federalism, a terminology that La République du Cameroon is very, very allergic to. What they have planned is not a devolution of powers to the people or to the regions. In the context of the Southern Cameroons, it is a divide and conquer arrangement. And I will explain this later. Each time, ladies and gentlemen, each time that the interim government rejects and bans any political contest organized by La République du Cameroon in our territory, We do not want to assume that everybody understands why. The interim government owes you, Ambazonians, the duty to explain why we reject it or ban it. This election, listen to me, is different from any other one that the interim government has banned in the past. The very idea that the elections are being sponsored and organized from and by La République du Cameroon, a foreign country, makes the exercise illegal and criminal. The exercise is an encroachment on our sovereignty and a mockery to our avowed commitment to the restoration of our independence. We have seen, ladies and gentlemen, 2017 ban and stayed away from all pools organized from La République du Cameroon. We cannot do the contrary now for any reason, especially when the stakes are too high right now. But besides this, let's not forget the diplomatic PR or the message that La République du Cameroon hopes to derive from this election. Fellow Ambazonians, this election is La République du Cameroon's roadmap to avoiding anything honest mediation or dialogue. This election is the roadmap for La République du Cameroon to avoid sitting on the table to discuss the root causes of this conflict. Please take note. Contrary to what they want you to believe, these so-called regional elections do not give the Southern Cameroon's people the right to determine their own leaders. It doesn't. This election does not give the people the power to choose or to elect their own native governors as in real democracies. This election doesn't give us, the people of Ambazonia, Southern Cameroon, the power to choose our own mayors. This election will not give the local mayors and the local communities the right to form and control their own police force and manage their own schools and hospitals. It doesn't. This election, fellow Ambazonians, will still not do away with the bottlenecks and the bureaucracy that is so deep-rooted in the positions of senior divisional officers and divisional officers. It will not do away with the positions of so-called government delegates, which they have recently changed name. The election will not, again, it will not do away with the brutal gendarmes who are foreign to our heritage. This election does not leave the regions controlling or managing their own resources and initiating their own development projects. That means taxes from the National Oil Refinery in Victoria will still be paid to Douala, not to Victoria. That means all its workers shall still be appointed by decree from Yaoundé. Fako County or division as they call it will still never be able to determine who gets a job in Sonara. The jobs will remain the exclusive preserve of Francophones, citizens of La République du Cameroon. Bafoussam shall remain the proxy, yet unannounced headquarters of Bamenda. All the monetary transactions in Bamenda will continue as they do today, reporting by the end of each business day to Bafoussam. I can go on and on and on and on. Time and space do not allow me to do so. But let me summarily state unequivocally, ladies and gentlemen, that the so-called regional election is a scam like in 419 in Nigerian parlance. It is a whitewash of people empowerment meant to deliver a falsehood to the international community that the grievances of Southern Cameroonians, or Anglophones as they call it, are finally being addressed. And that those of us, you and me, rejecting it are just stubborn, ungrateful diaspora separatists. That's what they would like the international community to know. But of course, we don't care. We will continue to oppose anything that is just window dressing. Anything that is short of a fair settlement that restores the sovereignty and the dignity of the people of the Southern Cameroons and Bazonia. La République du Cameroon falsehood will be exposed by the very character of the election as we know it. Don't forget that Yaoundé will, in the aftermath, still preserve the right to appoint your mayors. They will still appoint your governors. Yaoundé will still appoint your government delegates. Yaoundé will still appoint the chiefs, ladies and gentlemen, who sit in the houses of chiefs. Yaoundé will appoint the leaders of the House of Chiefs. They will also appoint the leaders of the regional houses, so-called. Everything will still remain appointment as usual. And guess who the appointees will be? They will be the Tabe Tandos, the Fonbinglos, the Anguafos, the Muketes, and don't be surprised that even John Frundi too may be appointed. I mean, the same people who are the very reason for which we fight today. Listen to the sound of my voice, Ambazonians. Listen to this. If you can snatch only one thing from all of what I bring to you today, please grab this one. This is the crux of the matter. This election has as the evil strand in it the formal or official entrenchment of divide and rule amongst us in the Southern Cameroon, from the grassland to the mountain zone. When we join, listen to me, when we join La République du Cameroon in the experiment that is now history, we were one people, one house of chiefs, one parliament and one capital. But see what they want to do now. A house of chiefs in Bamenda and a house of chiefs in Boya. Shine your eyes. A regional house in Bamenda and a regional house in Boya. Again, I say, shine your eyes. Is this the political arrangement with which we joined La République du Cameroon in 1961? Absolutely not. Really, is this what we want today? Of course not. We want our country as we had it 60 years ago. We had only one house of chiefs, only one parliament or house of representatives. The chiefs were natural chiefs, not chiefs like Tabe Tando and others who used money to buy their chieftaincies. In those days, when the Southern Cameroons was the envy that La République du Cameroon doesn't want to see today, Tabe Tandul could not sit in the same chamber with the fond of Fontem or with the fond of Bafut. No, Tabe Tandul could not get a seat in that chamber. Now, once they have accomplished this arrangement, this election arrangement, the next thing will be to knock our heads, to knock them, use them to knock our heads. For example, what is agreed in Boya will be rejected in Bamenda. And what is rejected in Bamenda, they will get Boya to agree to it. Listen to me. They will get Boya to tell My apologies, ladies and gentlemen, about that audio failure. Sometimes you take on microphones and put on your body without checking the battery level in the microphone. That is exactly what went wrong here. So, but right now I can come back to you and complete this monologue that I was bringing to you. I can come back to you and complete the monologue. So please go ahead and hit your share button. I want to complete this monologue. You have listened to me, ladies and gentlemen, about this election, which is very, very critical, very, very critical. Please, I want you to make sure that you send the news out there. Send the news out there for everybody to take note of that. Again, the object of this election is to divide us into two so that we can knock our heads as never before. Of course, you know, this has always been their intention. But this time, we are going to reject it. We are going to reject it, ladies and gentlemen. So please, we urge you to make sure that we do not take part in this scam of election. That you do not take part in this scam of an election, and we will do everything. We will do everything to stop it. And again, this election does not give the people the power to choose or to elect their own native governors as in real democracies. This election doesn't give us the power to choose our own mayors. It doesn't give us the power to the mayors, the power to choose their own local government. It doesn't, ladies and gentlemen. And that is why we are resolved to resist it more than we have done with any other election carried out or instituted or put force on us by La République du Cameroon. Again, the election does not leave the regions controlling or managing their own resources. It just doesn't. So we have to stand up to it, resist it to make sure that it doesn't take place. And to make sure the international community understands that we are not participating in any political activities organized from La République du Cameroon. Yes, we must not do that, ladies and gentlemen. And to add to that, I was going to explain this call for a lockdown. In our territory. The lockdown will be starting on let me say this. Listen, Ambazonians. The lockdown again will be starting on the 4th of December through to Monday the 7th of December, which is our regular Ghost Town Day. That is our regular Ghost Town Day. Going to start on Friday through Monday, our Ghost Town Day. So that will be the lockdown days. And so we want to urge everyone out there, December 4th is only a few days in coming. December 4th is only a few days coming. So please, make sure you stock your home with food items, stock your home with water, stock your home with drinks, stock your home, and prepare for this lockdown. Please prepare for this lockdown. It is very, very important. It is very, very important that you do so. Stock your homes with water, with food for these days. All right. Now, I also want to say that they will get Boya to tell Bamenda to stop grumbling and crying foul that Bamenda doesn't produce anything, and they will get Bamenda telling Boya, you people are lazy, you sow your lands. This election is meant to destroy the unity that has existed, between our two zones, the grassland and the mountain zone. In all of the grassland zone, we have learned that there will be only 7 polling stations, and in the mountain zone, there will only be 6. We therefore have the burden to identify these polling stations before Friday, December the 4th. Citizens on Ground Zero are asked to forward tips about the locations of the polling stations to the interim government as soon as you find out about them, or if you are one of those in charge of organization, please let us get that information. Let us get that information here at the interim government. We need information about those polling stations, or let the restoration forces, let the Amazonian restoration forces get to know the locations of those polling stations. No, anybody hosting or housing a polling station, any office hosting a polling station, and you are an Amazonian in that establishment, and you cannot review the information, expose the information, you are not being loyal or faithful to this cause. We expect that if any election is taking place in your office, you will sneak out and send the tips of the location to us. Now to PWD Football Club of Bamenda. We have monitored your activities since the commencement of this struggle and found you wanting. We do not have anything in Bamenda like PWD. It used to be one of our inherent parastatals. The Cameroon Ministry of Public Works took it over, and like many other southern Cameroon companies, like Powercam, Cameroon Marketing Board, the airports and the seaports, PWD was killed. What is left is just a name. The Football Club of Bamenda isn't Ambazonian, ladies and gentlemen. The name may be Amba, but the team isn't Ambazonian. The team and the players and the coaches are not Ambazonian. 90% of PWD Bamenda players are Francophones, French Cameroon citizens, and their coaches too. They are Francophones, French Cameroon citizens. They come from Chang, they come from Bunda, they come from Bangante, they come from Kongsamba, they come from Douala, they come from Bafoussam, and they play in Bamenda for so-called PWD Bamenda. What is in football when your people are dying? What is in football when other lovers of football, other professionals of football in La République du Cameroon have not as much as cared about the killing of your own children, of your own brothers and sisters? How can we host football, ladies and gentlemen, in Victoria, and PWD Bamenda going out there for football when our children cannot go to school? This is the reason, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you have people like Samuel Ito, you have the Roger Millers, and so on. Samuel Ito has tweeted about NSARS in Nigeria, but Samuel Ito will not as much as tweet when children are massacred in Kumba. No, he will not. When people are massacred in Ngaribu, no, he doesn't. Not even Roger Miller. Look at Stephen Tato, the way the man died. He died a miserable life, and he died a miserable life only because he was an Ambazonian. He was an Ambazonian. Look at the treatment that was accorded Stephen Tato, and that which was accorded Ringo Bear's son. Ringo Bear's son, when he was struck to death, at the point of death, he was rushed to Europe. But Stephen Tato died a wretched man in his hut in Yaoundé. Think about that. So what is PWD Bamenda? It's a distraction. Ladies and gentlemen, we are asking the restoration forces to take care of PWD Bamenda. We do not have a football league in Ambazonia, and you cannot live in Ambazonia and call yourself Ambazonian. And call yourself Ambazonians, and you are participating in the foreign league. The time is coming that we will have our own football league in Ambazonia. And when the moment comes, when that time comes, we will welcome PWD Bamenda to do what it knows how to do best. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sitting in there, and I'm very apologetic for the technical hitches, the microphone problems there. My battery for the microphone ran out and I just wasn't looking at it. But thanks for staying put in there for this special presentation. Now we are going to move to another subject. I am talking about this. Ladies and gentlemen, my apologies. I really cannot bring you those gory images. Because we do that. Facebook, we have the guts to take this live broadcast down. But I just wanted to flash them out there to you to know what is going on in Ambazonia. What is going on in Ambazonia? Orchestrated, ladies and gentlemen, by one person and one group only. Again, orchestrated by one person and one group only. I am talking about Cho Ayaba of the ADF and his gang or his associates out there representing La République du Cameroon on the ground. They have said all along that they are fighting for Ambazonia. Again, they have said all along that they are fighting for Ambazonia. We now have no doubt that the ADF of Cho Ayaba does not fight for Ambazonia. They fight for La République du Cameroon. They fight for our enemy, or they fight with our enemy. Not against the enemy, of course, but against us. It is pitiful. It is pathetic what took place in Guzang, Batibo yesterday. Unfortunately, it wasn't the first time. It wasn't the first time, ladies and gentlemen, that this was taking place. There was Guzang in 2018, I believe. Yes, I think there was Guzang in 2018, where some of the best Ambazonian generals were killed by the forces belonging to this guy you find on your screen. The forces belonging to this our own Chief Buthelezi, whom you find on your screen in the name of Cho Ayaba. Yesterday, after Guzang in 2018, there was Kurugwe. This same year, 2020, where chiefs were threatened, their lives were threatened, the children were threatened. They were not only threatened, they were killed, they were massacred in Kurugwe. They left Kurugwe, they went to Guzang yesterday and killed, I think, 3 or 4 of our fighters, our commanders in Guzang. Now, this is the irony in this, ladies and gentlemen. If you should ask Chief Buthelezi, whom you find on your screen here, if you should ask him how many French Cameroon soldiers, his troops, as we suppose he has, on the ground have killed, he will not tell you any battle. He will not be able to name one battle, ladies and gentlemen, one battle in which his forces have attacked or killed soldiers belonging to La République du Cameroon. He will not be able to give us any numbers. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, I address him as our own Chief Buthelezi. You will remember who Chief Buthelezi was. Chief Buthelezi was the leader of the Inkatha Freedom Party in South Africa, who opposed everything that genuine nationalist patriots fighting against apartheid in South Africa were fighting against. Yet, Chief Buthelezi pretended he too was fighting for blacks in South Africa. He too was fighting for the freedom of blacks in South Africa. But in the real case, no. Chief Buthelezi wasn't fighting for blacks in South Africa. He was strategizing, grandstanding, looking for positions in the white minority government in South Africa. And that is what Cho Ayaba is doing. And again, that is the reason why I address him today. I give him the official name, the official label of Chief Buthelezi, Ambazonia's own Chief Buthelezi. And yes, that is who this guy is, ladies and gentlemen. That is who this guy is. If he can deny, now you will all recall what happened in Bui. It just even, not Bui and where, a few days ago, I think it was in Bui, there was another attack. But you recall the attack in Bui in which our Field Marshal, Chacha, was cut down in his prime. You remember who we found in the battlefield? They were French Cameroon soldiers who killed Chacha, disguising as the ADF. Yesterday in Guzan, it was also French Cameroon soldiers fighting alongside Chief Buthelezi's army to cut down in their prime Ambazonian genuine heroes, Ambazonian restoration fighters. Ladies and gentlemen, it is pathetic. I am now joined by Comrade Jackson, who is the interim chair for Mogamo. Comrade Jackson, please centralize your camera. You're almost out of your camera. Centralize your camera, please. Thank you. Bend it down a little bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Comrade Jackson, for joining me. You have good information as per what happened yesterday in Guzan. Can you please give us the briefing?
Yes, thank you, Secretary Chris. Thank you very much. You kind of put it very well. And interestingly, I am thrilled with the choice of name, Chief Buthelezi of Inkatha Freedom in South Africa. Yes, yesterday, from the information we gathered on the ground, is that at about 5:30 a.m., the boys in Guzan heard the dogs barking. One of the guys went out to take a survey, but all was quiet. He returned back. Instinctively, they kept their eyes open because they were not sure what's going on. At about 5 a.m., there were gunshots. And during this time, they had to hurriedly prepare to see what was going on. They thought it was the military that was invading. So, upon returning fire, they noticed that it was the ADF. So there was exchange of fire that pursued at the time. And the guys had to scatter. They moved from every direction. What they did not know was that they have been properly ambushed. Technical guys went now to activate their booby traps, which is part of their game. Surprisingly, the booby traps were already disabled, which means there was an insider too. So when they tried to retreat, they personally saw the military armor coming up. They went to the spot where the ATF guys were shooting, and they are alleging that reinforcement and ammunition was dropped from the armor car to them. And it should be that the ADF was fighting the guys from the north, La Republic was on the south, and they were completely encircled. In the event of it, official number two of the boys fell, was injured, currently taking treatment. And ADF, where they were standing, and the armor car came and talked to them, there was no exchange of fire between them and the ADF. So exactly that is what happened. As of today, CAM has returned. Report says that they are still looking around, ambush, and disseminate the boys. But I will tell you that what happened.
All right. That is very, very interesting. Now, we have also received information, ladies and gentlemen. We have also received information that this gentleman I'm about to put on your screen, this gentleman I'm putting on your screen, by the name of Baba 4. Listen, watch the face of this gentleman, please. Watch the face of this gentleman. By the name, he goes by the name, the pen name, I guess, of Baba 4. Baba 4. We are now learning that he is probably the mastermind behind the killings in the Guzang yesterday. And again, he goes by the name Baba 4. Now, he put out an audio 2 days, 2 days before the killings in Guzang yesterday, warning the boys on the ground that he was coming after them, or they were coming after them. Comrade Jackson, please put the message in the message you put out in the right perspective, please.
Yes, actually there was an audio. It was in the local Menemo dialect, with some broken English or English in it, and which is well, it all started because of the situation where Commando arrested two boys, Dada and Ned. These are guys that are fighting with the ADF and have been living in the lower part of Mogamo, with maltreating the villagers, and some of them have left, and they even injured some villagers. So Commando went and arrested them for the ill treatment they were giving the villagers. So Babafo went on air and asked Commando to release them, and he has given them 48 hours. And 48 hours, it all happened. And it should be noted that there is a similar audio that Babafo some 1 year ago in Menemo, where he talked about the guys that were located around Bomi, and the event of it, they located and 5 boys went down. So Babafo is officially, from the records, it has been officially been working with the ADF, and he has pledged allegiance to ADF, and he said, based on, and for the fact, I need to debunk something, because there is an audio that came from him also that we are working together. I will say that I understand that never die through evil, some trust the boys. From there, they return the materials. Said return the material. As of today, return. That's because working together, that's fine. But again, going back to the main issue, this is when he gave that threatening audio, and after the 48 hours, or before the 48 hours, the massacre that took place and the ambush happened.
All right, thank you for that, Comrade Jackson. I want to read a message that was put out by Cho Ayaba. I do not know when this message was put out by Cho Ayaba, but it was forwarded to me. I don't know whether you have an idea when that message was put out by Cho Ayaba. But this is what Cho Ayaba wrote. This is what Cho Ayaba wrote, referring to welcoming Baba 4 as an ADF member. This is what Cho Ayaba wrote. Ayaba wrote, after a protracted profile morality check, the AGOV-C intelligence services, Baba 4. So Baba 4 is an AGOV-C intelligence person. He is what? An AGOV-C intelligence person. So Cho Ayaba writes about Baba 4. He says, after a protracted profile morality check by the AGOV-C intelligence services, Baba 4, as he is formally called, is hereby formally accepted as an AGOV-C member with a special defense mission for Momo State. Now, that is Cho Ayaba writing there, ladies and gentlemen, about Baba 4. And Cho Ayaba continues here. He says, Baba 4 shall henceforth oversee activities that shall be aimed at strengthening the meta-axis of Mbengwe Tad-Ingi. Ye shall, while working with the secret intelligence services and all the available forces on the ground, to uproot all LRC military infrastructure and auxiliary command institutions within the said axis. So Cho Ayaba, while welcoming Baba 4 in the ADF, stated that his mission, his special mission, shall be to uproot all La République du Cameroon operations in the Momo axis, Momo axis. But unfortunately, pathetically, ladies and gentlemen, who can point to one La République du Cameroon institutions that the ADF has dismantled or say just attacked anywhere in Ambazonia? Forget about Momo, anywhere in Ambazonia. Can they name just one? I mean, only one. But the instances, examples upon examples of Ambazonia restoration forces that these pathetic fellows, these low lives, have killed in Ambazonia. But ladies and gentlemen, Comrade Jackson, I'd like you to stay put in there. I want to bring in another guest who is joining me. He is the chairperson, the local government chairperson for, what is the name of that place? Please, Comrade, go ahead and remind me again.
Is it Mogamo?
Again?
Is it Mogamo?
Remind me again.
Please, can you turn down your television, and you are very far from your phone. You are very, very far from your phone.
Okay.
Okay, that is better. Please.
Okay. Yeah. So, yes, this is the chairman of Menemo.
Again, the person who is speaking, again, this is the chairman of Menemo, right? The chairman of Menemo speaking now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, the Menemo LGA.
A Menemo LGA,
so
please.
I just want to say a little thing about these two persons that were arrested in Mogamo LGA. These two persons, Dada and Never Die, as Chairman Jackson mentioned, are elements from the Menemo LGA. These two persons were fighters. For some time, we interacted with them. But soon after we started interacting with them, it became clear to us that these people were after their personal interests. They have committed a lot of atrocities in the Menemo LGA area. And before long, we then really realized that this guy who calls himself about four, that's not his real name. Somebody told me his name is Peter something.
Okay.
That he was the brain behind the activities of these boys, Never Die and Dada. These boys have committed atrocities all across Menemo. I mean, I don't even need to go naming any particular village.
Please go ahead. Give us all the details that you know.
Yeah, so across Njinidi, across Njindom, across Bomi, they've cut down so many people. They have operated torture chambers. Never Die, especially when many people were working. There was a time one guy was tortured so badly, and he came to me and I called Bafo and I said, please, if you don't release this boy, you will earn the wrath of the LGA and the interim government. He told me he didn't have anybody there. We didn't have anybody. He wasn't operating any torture chamber. I told him, I gave him specifics, and then it became clear to him that I knew what he was doing. And this guy that had been detained in that place, and the churches in the area were praying for this boy openly. This boy, and everybody was calling for his release. He had not been released. But when I called Bafo and I told him I knew what he was doing, within a few hours, this boy was released.
Oh, you call this guy. You call this guy whose face is on the screen.
Yes, I called Bafo. I called him and I spoke to him. And in a matter of less than 12 hours, this man was released. And I have pictures and videos of this guy who was walking on crutches after he left the place. It is pathetic. So, these are the activities of these boys. So, there have really been a sword in the eyes of the people of Menemo. And these are the type of people whose activities push our people away from the struggle. And they say, if the fight for independence is this, then some of them start thinking, oh, it's not worth it. But I want to tell the people of Menemo, the people of the Meta area, that the interim government, the ARF, will one after the other sort out these bad apples and send them to where they belong. Yes. Because This is not what the interim government stands for. This is not what the Ambazonian Restoration Forces stand for. So they were picked up in Mogamo, where they went on an expedition or they were on an assignment given them by Baba 4. Baba 4 is terror. Baba 4 is terror. I want to say it again. Baba 4 is terror. He has nothing good to offer the people of Minimum, the people of Meta. And he knows it. And he's vowed to bring the ADF into Meta. And unfortunately, these two boys fell prey. There may be others, but these are two key people.
Now,
and the time again we want them. Go ahead.
now you said you have spoken to this fellow. Have you spoken with him in the face of the current killings of yesterday?
No, sir. No, Secretary Chris. No, I have not spoken to him. Indeed, after I realized that he was somebody who was just bent on doing things his own way, I cut off communication with him. I've gone for about, I think he called me about, let me say, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, and left me a message. I don't accept his calls. I don't call him. He's not good. He's just, everything I discussed with him in those days, he did the opposite way. And this boy, his ultimate interest is in disrupting the minimal LGA. His ultimate interest. In those days when he was in the Christian Solidarity, I think he's no longer in that group. Christian Solidarity is another renegade group there in Minimal. So,
Okay.
in those days when he was in there, that was their common goal, to cause the Minimal LGA forum to disintegrate. That would be a trophy for them, their dream trophy. You hear one day that Minimal LGA is no more. But of course the people of Minimal LGA have understood them very well. And we have stayed together and we have been doing what we have needed to do. So
Yeah.
about 4, at one time was in the Minimal LGA, he came here and he begged us to include him. For some time he was in there together with other elements of the Christian Solidarity. But things didn't go well. It's a very disruptive unit. And we soon fell apart and they left. And Bafo has continued with these devilish activities, and I'm told that it's no longer even with that Christian Solidarity group.
Okay. So do you know when he first became a member of, when Ayaba was welcoming him and ordaining him one of his intelligent chiefs for your county?
Yeah, I can faintly remember when this was told me. That was sometime, maybe up to a year ago. I can't remember. But that was when it became clear. From the beginning, it was like a threat that he was sending across that he was going to be a member of the ADF. Indeed, he had already become a member of the ADF, but he was hiding it. It wasn't known to him, he was hiding, and then he started giving these threats. He was going to bring the ADF into Meta. And then at the same time, trying to be a member of the Minimal LGA, trying to take over Minimal LGA through the Christian Solidarity group, which is, as I said, a minuscule group somewhere. I don't know what their activities are. But they're not under the interim government.
Okay.
So he started trying to get into Minimal LGA. And one time there was all these cries about unity, Minimal unity. I said, we said, okay, let's try it. And we brought them, and they decided to come into Minimal LGA as a group, not as individuals. But as I said, in a matter of, let me say 2 weeks or so, it was so chaotic. And the LGA did not look like an LGA. The LGA forum was not an LGA forum anymore. It was so chaotic. With all these messages, terrorizing messages from Majabacho, and a number of individuals were planted in various places to say certain things. So we saw that we were falling into a trap, and we really had to get ourselves out of that mess. So they were booted out. And ever since then, they've been trying to come back in and we have been wiser. And we're not letting them in as a group. And we have told them, everybody who wants to belong to the LGA has to come in as an individual and not as a group. And that has been our message until this day.
One thing, though, that is quite something I don't understand. I just don't understand is how Mogamo would continue to allow the ADF kill civilians, kill the restoration fighters. They started with Guzan, where they killed a good number of our generals in 2018, I believe. It was 2018. Then
something like that.
They went to Kurugwe this same year, killed a number of people, killed children. They have now gone again back into Guzan, where they killed these three fighters and commanders.
Okay.
Why is Mogamo allowing the ADF to do this when we have issued a national order banning the activities of the ADF anywhere in Amazonia? And I include this so-called AMF group. Ladies and gentlemen, we have banned their activities, and for any local government or county to continue to entertain them, it's a crime. So I don't know why Mogamo keeps on allowing them, and they are killing their people, and they do nothing. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, so let me make one thing clear. We are talking here about Mogamo LGA and Menemo LGA.
Well, it's all in, well, you are right. I get that. Thank you.
Yes. There's Menemo LGA, which is the LGA for Meta people of Meta origin. The people called Meta, and then there's the Mogamo LGA, which is for people of Batipo, Guzang, and so on.
Right.
So these massacres took place in Mogamo LGA. The people that were picked on Mogamo LGA were elements or people were people from Menemo. So Menemo is the area around Bengui. So yeah, you're right. There have been too many of these massacres in Mogamo. And Mogamo LGA, I dare say, has quite some problems. Many LGAs have some problems. But I hope Mogamo is just on the verge of having many of these problems resolved with their election, because there's been some kind of leadership problems there. And we want to work together. Menemo wants to work together with Mogamo, as well as Chikwa, as well as Widikum, as well as Nki. We want to work together in one county and resolve these issues. There are a lot of rogue elements, elements of the ADF here and there, some directly working for La Republic, who are operating in Mogamo, in Momo as a whole. But when we come together as a county, we're going to be strong, and we shall resolve these issues. There are a number of boys around the Menemo area there. They say that they want to pay allegiance to nobody. But we're not telling them to pay allegiance to us. Like the president said, you are not paying allegiance to an individual. Nobody pays allegiance to an individual. Yes, we want you to operate under the LGAs, but knowing that our goal is to free Amazonia under the interim government. There must be an umbrella organization, and that's a government. That's what we call a government, that leads this fight, or else it's going to be chaotic. But you have people in Menemo who say, I don't want to be under Menemo. They're not going to tolerate that. Just hold the damn hotel. I don't want to call their names here. There's one other thing I wanted to talk about, Secretary Chris, which is about elections. I don't know if you can allow me to say that.
Sure, go ahead.
Yes. So it has been revealed to me, it has come to our desk, that a number of people appeared in Bengui. Well, there are people in Bengui, not that they appeared, there are people in Bengui. And they told the people in Menemo, the poor Menemo, that's Meta people, that there were an NGO formed by children of Njinibi village who are residing in the United States. Njinibi is one of the villages in Menemo.
Okay.
They say there are children from Njinibi residing in the United States who have created an NGO, and that they were going to help the people of Menemo to come up with businesses. What did they need to be included? They asked the people to provide their IDs and curriculum vitae, and then they had to register with 1,500 francs.
Okay.
The information states that many people in Menemo, that's in Bengvi area and so on, many people registered. What they didn't realize soon after registering is that certain names started appearing, started coming up as people who were directly behind this ploy. It then became clear that it has been a scam.
So which were the names? Which were these names that began showing up?
Yes, one of the names is Fonga or Fonga, who is a former secretary of late Mr. Yunga Tegen. There's another name, Tabe Beatrice. Tabe Beatrice is the so-called assistant mayor of Mbengri. And there's also another guy who is called, I have the name just as, what is that? Hubert, who is resident on Boakwe. Those are names that came up. And then that started smelling foul. So what? These people are all part of the CPDM. How come they're the ones bringing up an LGA who are standing behind an LGA formed by Trinity children living in the United States? It smells foul.
Comrade, let's do this. Comrade, let's do this. I will get back to you on Monday and let us go deeper into these revelations you are bringing here. So people are essentially being conned on the ground to register for these elections by CPD and zealots from both ground zero and in the diaspora. That's what you are saying, correct?
Yes.
All right. I will get you back here on Monday. Let's talk about this and get into the details. In the meantime, let me get Comrade Jackson to give us a little bit information, hearing what he has now heard from you, what he knows about Baba 4. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
So, Comrade Jackson, you have listened to the chairman for Menemo out there giving us some kind of specifics on who this Baba 4, whom I call the face of terror in Guzang, is. What else can you add to that, please?
Yes, thank you. Comrade Efren kind of cover every little bit about what we know about him. He is somebody that we've been talking with, but I never understood that he could be close to such violence. Yeah, because today if we complain that the military is doing this to our boys, look at what we're doing to ourselves. So I'm just going to leave the rest about him to speak for itself. But there is something I want to highlight here, which is based on what you said about the Moamo LGA, which is that this is happening too often in Moamo. And as you will understand, Moamo is one of the strongest LGA in Momo, probably one of the strongest in Amazonia, if you exclude some of them in Mezam. But the situation in Moamo is such that while we blame the ADF for doing these heinous crimes against the boys, we should equally look at why Moamo. And I have about two things to say here. The two things is that
that's a good question.
Yes, some of us have made a diagnosis, and the two things is that we have some. I think I lost the sound there. And secondly, we have individuals in Moamo that have decided that they want to act solo. What am I saying? During the sending away or the resignation of the Moamo LGA executive led by Fongang, there was a caretaker committee that was put in place. When they came in, there was so much energy, there was so much hope that things were going to change in Moamo. It's after the draft. The vehicles soon took a U-turn, U-turn that took us to the ditch where we are, because the caretaker committee that is led by Mr. Fon, and then it has defense people, the Evaristos. We have Moya George, and then there is another person with some undefined portfolio, Mr. Chris Mbaku. These three individuals, without Mr. Fon, basically hijacked the LGA and took it off from the county, and were kind of acting like a county. And I personally make this declaration in most of the Amber Peace Plan meeting, and the frustration, and the bad thing is that some individuals in the administration up to the cabinet kind of sanction this in a way, but not official. And when they took themselves out of the county, they never participated in the county joint force. They kind of left the guys on the ground, the existing boys that they met. Chris, can you get me now?
Yes, I can hear you. You were cut off, but I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, so they kind of left this guy stranded with no food money, no equipment. It is a county that, together with other 4 LGAs, that is Ngi, Njikwa, Menemo, and Wedicom, kind of put something together and try to assist the guys in Mogamo. And it should be noted here that the Mogamo is one of the strongest LGA in terms of the boys in Momo. And again, it is located on a very strategic geographical location because of the ring road. So that is what has brought us to where we are today. And I can, of course, some names here so that we should name them and we should shame them, because what is happening today, it is on them. Because if they did the basic things, this is not about you, this is not about me, this is not about any person. This is about the rest of us and all of us. So that is why today I can be calling other names in Mogamo that has brought us to this position where we are. I complain and I talk aloud. Our lady, my Irene, how bitterly I've been talking about how I want them, especially those of them with national stature, to take up and work with the county and work with the rest of the community. Because if we don't, because Chris, this is the point. If you complain that somebody is beating you up, but the question is, what are you doing to protect yourself so that you can fight back? And we can't sit here and just complain that ADF has done this, ADF has done this. What are you doing so that you can fend off those attacks? That is where we are today.
Comrade, comrade, that is the question that should be coming to you and the Mogamo local government people. What have you done? How come since 2018 the ADF continues to be a pain in the neck of you in Mogamo? How come?
Yes, that's true. That's why I took time to X-ray and expose the various players and the situation in Mogamo, because Mogamo needs to understand that they are part of an entity. And again, anything that we do, we have to understand that we are one. If you don't cooperate, then bad things will happen to you. That's why these things are happening. I'm not going to say so much about some other tactical measures that should have happened and did not happen. But I'm just trying to throw light that if Mogamo people, Mogamo caretaker committee, thinks that because after the draft, they have become so rich, but money alone cannot help. That's why we are where we are today.
So, I do not want you to divulge the plans that you guys have planned going forward, but if you can speak to it, is there anything that you guys are doing right now to forever stop any intruders? I am not referring to Laraboplidu Cameroon, of course. I'm referring, of course, to people under Chief Buthelezi, stopping them from ever again encroaching into Batibo, Mogamo, Momo as a whole.
It is simple, Chris. It's very simple. Let us build our own defense. Let us be strong. Let's get into the gym, put on some muscles and be strong. Let's go jogging. Let's have the ability to resist, and everything will fall in place. That's what we're doing. That's what we're going to do. I'm not going to say here that we're going to do this or that. That's all. And it all falls back to the lone LGA in Momo that is not participating with the rest of the county. We told them, we saw this coming. We said, you guys need to sit up. But again, even right to the level of the cabinet, people need to come back to Moamo and tell them the truth. It is too much. We can't continue like this. I can't hear you.
Okay. All right, Comrade Jackson, thank you for showing up to be on this show and to tell us what took place in Batibo. I hope we will get back to you to know the fallout from that massacre in Batibo in the coming weeks. Thank you for joining me, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was again Comrade Jackson, who I believe he is the interim local government chairperson for Mogamo. That is where Guzang and Batibo are found. I will now open the phone lines for a few minutes to see what all of you out there are thinking about this election, thinking about the lockdown, thinking about what happened in Batibo out there. Please, before you call, make sure your telephones, your TV set or whatever you are watching on, the volume is turned down so that there is no echo and a long wait to hear what you have to say. So before you call, make sure that the volume of your set is turned down. You have the number on your screen, so the phone lines are open. And while you do so, again, I just want to re-emphasize about the lockdown starting on December 4th through Monday, December the 7th. We are not planning this lockdown or putting this lockdown together to stop election. Do not be mistaken. We know how crooked and fraudulent that La République du Cameroon government is. Elections or no elections, they will conduct a vote somewhere. They can even do it in Yaoundé. They may hold it in Bafoussam. They may hold it in Douala. And then tell the world they conducted elections in Ambazonia. So do not be mistaken. We know for sure they are conducting their elections. But we want to tell the world by shutting down Ambazonia that we did not participate. Ambazonia wasn't part of their election. The world will see our country shut down, nobody walking on the street. They will agree with us. We were not participants. We were not party to their fraudulent and illegal election in our territory. That is the message we are sending out, ladies and gentlemen, in the 4 days lockdown in Amazonia. We also, however, are sending out this information as a tip. If you are out there in Amazonia and you know where any polling station in Amazonia has been planned, please lock your door and get behind the door. Call me, send me the information, and we will take care from there. Let me get to the first caller here. All right. Hello, sir.
Hello, Secretary. This is Ernst calling from the District of Columbia here in Washington. And
you are calling from the District of Columbia in Washington. Thanks for calling, sir. What is in your mind?
Yeah, thank you for accepting my call as well, and thank you for doing your job.
Thank you.
And happy Thanksgiving. Hope you had it good. But you know, my fear here is that, you know, when you ask those questions to those people and they answer, you know, I feel that there is no good collaboration between the LGS or the counties and the central and the cabinet. You see those loopholes, and because of these loopholes, whatever decision that is taken is always after something has happened. So if there is
hold on there. I know what you are trying to say, but it is not even correct, because if they are doing something only when something has happened. What did they do? What did Mogamo do after Guzang in 2018? What did they do after Kurugwe? What did they do? I mean, it is really painful to see what keeps on happening there from one enemy.
That's true.
So it doesn't appear to me like they are really doing what they should do. We ban the ADF and we told every county you find anything ADF anywhere, eradicate them. Because we do not want warlords in Amazonia. Any fighting team on the ground that doesn't belong to the county, they are rooks, they are thieves, they are robbers, they are kidnappers, they are extortioners.
Yeah, and then Chris, what you have said is actually right. And then I just want to add that there is nothing that happened there from what they say that they didn't know before. That's the other side of it. You see that they are in the knowing of the fact that something is lingering around, but they take it for granted until when it happens as it has happened. You know, so it's terrible. So I think that Momo being a very important county, there's something should be done to get their reports on. They should have a daily briefing about those kind of places.
Mogamo. Hold on there. Yes, you're right. Hold on there. Mogamo drafted more than any other local government, even more than almost all the counties.
Yes.
Almost all the counties except for Mezam. They drafted more than Mogamo alone. Mogamo is an LGA. They drafted more than any other local government, including the counties. So I'm surprised that they cannot take care of this ADF thing. Go on, sir.
It's terrible. It's terrible. And then, you know, we should watch for Kumbo. And then you see Kumbo that didn't draft almost fourth or third or what. The army is there every day for about 6 months, and the people did not say that they don't have anything.
Correct.
You know, they are still managing to balance that force. But where there is enough that they can use, they are doing just nothing. I don't just know.
Kumbo is a good example that every other local government should be asking, what are they doing there differently? What are they doing in Kumbo differently? You rarely hear the boys in Kumbo going on videos or audios and saying, we want this, we want that. Yet, I think Buru was one of the least drafted county that I know. I think they drafted just about $87,000. Just about $87,000. Yet
Yes.
they are at battle. They are in battle every day. Every day. Mogamo should stand up. All right, thank you, comrade. Let me get some other calls here, please.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the call. All right. Hello, sir. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. May I know where you're calling from, please? Yes, good evening. May I know where you're calling from, please?
Hello.
I can hear you. Go on.
I'm calling from Banga Bakudu on ground zero.
Banga Bakundu Ground Zero.
Banga Bakudu on ground zero.
Okay, thank you for the call. What is in your mind, sir?
So, yeah, which actually assure you that there will be no election conducted on ground zero, especially in Sunday zone.
Thank you. Thank you. Are you a fighter?
Yes, I'm a fighter on ground zero. I'm popularly called Lamba Crab.
Okay, you don't need to disclose your identity. So that is good. I'm glad to hear that we cannot allow them conduct anything elections anywhere in Amazonia. Of course, we have no doubt the elections will take place. They will announce the winners and the losers. But at least the world would have known that we boycotted it, that we did not participate, that we stopped them, we fought them. Thank you. Any other thing else?
Okay. Yes, then I actually condemn the incident that took place in Gozan between the ADF and the TTA in Gozan. So I was actually shocked when I hear of that.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. God bless. Thanks for the call. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, the phone lines are open. Go ahead and make your call. And while you do so, I would like to remind Ground Zero again, lockdown declared for December the 4th through December the 7th. I can't emphasize this enough. Do not for a moment think that lockdown will stop French Cameroon elections. No, it will not. But it sends a strong message to the international community, to observers, that Amazonia no longer participates in French Cameroon organized elections. That is the importance of this lockdown. All right, let me get to the next caller here. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Yeah, I'm calling from ground zero.
Okay, can you lift your voice a little bit, sir? Your voice is a little low there.
Yeah, can you hear me well now?
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to complain about this issue of election in ground zero.
Okay.
That we are calling Republic. There are no more strangers. There are people that are living within us.
Correct.
Right from our it. So these people, our councillors, these people are still living in our midst, and we are calling the Republic. But the people that we are calling the Republic, they are not more strangers. They are people that are living within us. So if we keep on allowing them to keep on we are ahead with all the activities represented by the Republic. So we are happy to do with these people first, so that when they are not there, the Republic will not have no agents to fight us in our mix. Thank you. That's my contribution.
No, you are very correct, and that is why I send the message that we need tips. We need tips coming from ground zero. These people organizing these elections, they live amongst you. People like this, ladies and gentlemen, look at your screen. People like this will still have the infantry to put on CPDM uniform. This took place in Bananda I think 2 weeks ago. I think this was November the 6th. That people still have the infantry to put on CPDM uniforms and campaign in Amazonia. I don't know how we can allow them do this. Please, we are saying, these people live within you. They live within us. They live in your neighborhood. They live in your community. Give us the tips where they are planning, where they are holding these meetings and planning these elections, and leave the rest to us. And leave the rest to us, and we will take care. We will take care of them. Please send the tips to us. Let me get to the next caller here. Hello, sir.
Yes, this is Quentin from South Carolina.
Yeah, sorry, you are calling from where?
From South Carolina.
South Carolina. Okay, what is in your mind, sir?
All right. I want to debunk what the Momo County head Jackson just said. It's clear to me that he doesn't have a clear mastery of what is actually happening in Mogamo.
Are you a member of the county, sir?
Haven't been. Yeah, I'm a member of the county and a member of and I'm administrator there too. So,
oh, okay. Good to hear your voice. Yes, go on.
Yes. What I want to say is the Indians haven't caused a lot of atrocities back in Kurugwe. There was some money raised by the county or by the LGA to take care of ADF in Kurugwe. That money was amounted to a total of around $14,000 something dollars. That money was embezzled and nothing was done by the old regime, the regime that did Ponga. Bangui. So much accountability of investment. So much money has been embezzled in the Mogamo LGA. I can't go out to be telling you the actual amount. I know it's hundreds of thousands.
Come on, hundreds of thousands in one local government alone, embezzled?
Yes, more than $100,000 was the money that was raised in the region of Fungang. And when the audit was conducted, 42,000 was missed. That is out of that was alone. And when these people were brought to questioning, they were quick at because there was a vote of no confidence. I want to remind us here that the vote of no confidence is not a dismissal notice. But these people hurriedly abandoned the LGA. They quitted. By time when the caretaker thing came up, and they saw the amount of money that was made from the draft, they came back and held the boys in Moamu captive. So the caretaker has actually been handicapped. They have been unable to act up because the boys cannot take command. Even the commander forum, there is a certain the forum there they call the commander forum. The caretaker team is not part of that forum. That forum, the forum that guides the guys on ground. Even the chairman of the Restoration Council is out, and the chairman has been begging to be added to that group. This group of people.
I'm sorry, you are breaking a lot. You are breaking a lot. I want to thank you for this piece of information. I think that we are not in the right place to expose that, but I think it is very, very vital piece of information that Mogamo people, they need to put their house together. They need to put their house together. I have none of all those differences, divisions, this person in, this person out, yet nothing goes on. They have one person, one enemy that keeps on killing their own people. You need to put your house together.
Secretary, can I just conclude here?
All right, sir.
I want to tell you the architect of confusion in the Mogamo LGA is the former executive and the team in there headed by Aringwa, which Aringwa agitator of confusion in the Mogamo LGA. Thank you.
Thanks for the call, sir. Thanks for the call. I guess that is your own opinion. Mogamo people will decide who is who in their county. Let me see who is calling next. This is Ground Zero. Hello, sir. Hello. Hello, sir. Can you speak a little louder, please?
Yes, I'm calling from Victoria.
Okay, thanks for the call. What is going on in Victoria? Do they observe, today is Friday. So tell me what is going on.
Yes, I would like to. I've sent a message to you. Right, my number is there, so you have to give my number to one of the restoration forces in Victoria. Then on Ghost Town days, the people, those Okada riders are not observing Ghost Town and all those things. Then again, I know about the police station here in Victoria. So when you get my number, take my number to one of the legitimate restoration forces in Victoria.
I would prefer you speak to Victoria local government administrators, because not knowing who you are, we don't just have them contacting people like that. I would suggest you contact FACO or Victoria local government administrators or security chief, who can then, if you send me a short message, because there are so many numbers, so many calls coming in here, I will not know which one is yours. But if you send me a short message, I will then forward your number to FACO security chief, who can then contact you, and you go on from there. Is that okay?
Thank you, Mr. Chris. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call, sir. God bless. All right, let me get to the next caller here. Let me see. Okay, this is Chief Ghana calling all the way from Australia. Hello, sir.
Hello, Mr. Chris. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for taking my call. I just wanted to encourage all the youths of Mogamo to probably just make sure they step up now and make sure they take over this LGA from the hands of the old men that are there trying to.
No, you are from Mogamo, am I correct?
Yes, I'm from there.
So essentially you are saying that you don't like whoever is leading Mogamo today.
I don't like whoever is. Mogamo needs serious reforms. Mogamo needs serious reforms. And these reforms, they have been just on the side. The caretaker team has been trying to put together these reforms. But the old executive that was removed does not want this to happen. This old executive they're the ones in charge of whatever is going on the ground. They are the ones talking to the boys with other warlords in Europe. There's another guy called Judson Sikot. They are the ones. They are talking to the boys. They don't want the boys to talk to anyone else.
Judson Sikot was once part of Mogamo LGA, left, joined the ADF. I got a call from him, I think a day or two ago, and he appears to be back to the LGA leadership. I don't understand this guy. Where does he actually belong?
Judson Sikot has never been back.
And he has been accused of squandering thousands of dollars, men, for those same boys, fighters.
Yes.
In Mogamo.
Yes, you're right. He has collected money even from he lied. He took money from the interim government. I think last year as well. He said he wanted to do something. Nothing. He went behind, blindfold other people in the background that are connected to the interim government. Took money from the LGA, and he hasn't accounted for anything. He's not part of this LGA. He doesn't belong to this LGA. He pay allegiance to Konenge IG and collaborate with ADF in the background. So all these things, all these facts that people are bringing out, some of them are wrong. They are not right, the correct facts. The right thing is, Mogamo people need reforms, and those reforms must be done before Mogamo can do anything. Mogamo needs reforms. People that are warlords, we don't need to listen to them. We don't need to listen to all these people that are in the diaspora, all these warlords. Every fighter on the ground, we must encourage them to pay allegiance to the LG. To the LG, do not pay allegiance to anybody. That's one of the reasons this fighter even died. This fighter is being derailed to pay allegiance to individuals in the diaspora.
Yeah, many fighters have been killed because they try to pay allegiance to people in the diaspora.
Yes.
Hold on there, comrade. I really want to speak to the fighters down there on ground zero. Anybody sending you money, sending you material or equipment from the diaspora should not be the person you are taking instructions from. They don't have your interest, because the moment you do not take their instructions, they begin to plot for your death. They begin to plot to kill you. So if you are a fighter out there on ground zero, this is why county by county, LGA by LGA is very, very critical, very, very important for you, for your security. Only the LGAs can protect you. Only the counties can protect you, not these warlords who send you 100,000 francs, 200,000 francs, even $1 million, and then give you instructions that you should carry out. And the moment you argue with them or you cannot carry out what they want you to do and you have taken their money, they plot to kill you. That is what is going on. Please, we ask you, stop listening to anybody from the diaspora. And also, let me also add that I've heard of the so-called AMF. Ladies and gentlemen, the interim government, as you remember, has banned anything on ground zero other than the Ambazonia Restoration Forces. We can't say this enough. We do not want warlords. We do not want warlords. I get calls upon calls upon calls every week of abductions, of ransoms taken. And it happens that when you call, you realize most of the people doing these abductions do not belong to the LGA forces or county forces. They belong to warlords. What they do, they go out, harvest money, send it to their masters, put their own in their pocket, and the thing just keep recycling. And people on ground zero think that this is what Ambazonia Restoration Forces are doing. No, in most cases, it is not, because we are calling to find out who is doing what and where they are doing it. It turns out that most of these people are from the ADF, are from the AMF, because they are being led by warlords. Ground zero should reject any group on the ground that does not pay allegiance to the local government or county. Go on, comrade.